musicians in bars getting beer. It's still season one. Season one seems to be perpetual. But Ron Dalson here, karaoke meister and member of Legion from days gone by. Tell me about how you got into karaoke and what made you go this route.
Well, I've always been into music. Always been into music. I started coming out. I was a late bloomer as a singer. I didn't start till high school. Started out in high school with somebody you may know very well, one of the top guitarists around, Kerry. Kerry and I went to high school together at Lamoureux, and we were in our first band together. It was a rock band.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Good friend of mine.
What was the band called back then?
Oh, wow. I don't even remember. It was Kerry, myself, his girlfriend at the time. Wow. Now you put me on the spot.
Okay.
I don't even think Kerry would remember that. But I could be wrong. He probably would. But yeah, started out from there. Yep. Started out from there. Soon after that, got into the R&B scene, which was my main style of vocalist. I performed at Blue Note. I performed at Horseshoe Tavern, the Opera House, Concert Hall when it was still around. I've performed many different venues.
Which bands were at which places, if you can remember any of the names?
Well, it was two main bands that I was in. There was a group called the first one was a vocalist group called Real Time. We performed Blue Note Network, Horseshoe Tavern, Concert Hall, Opera House in Chicago and New York. After that, we had a band. We actually had a band called Real Time with some of the top R&B performers in the city. Orville Ray, Ted Yearwood on bass, Orville on guitar, many different drummers. Again, gathered from the musicians in that era of music, genre of music back then. And we performed again pretty well right across Ontario, right across Canada, and going into the States.
Really?
Yep. After that, right around then was when I first had my taste of karaoke, because I was always a lazy vocalist. I never liked taking time out to go to the practices. So the way to keep my voice in shape for me was karaoke, because they said they had a lot of the same songs that we were performing.
Sure. And
you could get up and do it without having to go set up a studio and pay for studio time and stuff.
So as a personal rehearsal tool.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. What made me decide to get into karaoke is a different thing, a different story altogether, because back then karaoke was big, but not even as big as it is now. But back then, the musical capacity they had was very limited. Very limited. It was mostly country and rock, a little bit of alternative, not too much in the way of R&B or reggae or soca or anything else.
Now, right?
Yeah. Now it's totally different. But I had always said to myself, I'd like to start a business like this where I could offer something to everybody, like a one-stop shop for karaoke.
Yeah.
And I had another friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Rick Marcoux, who's also a karaoke host. He tends to stay more in central and downtown, but he had the same concept. So we put our heads together and said, well, why don't we do this? We don't have to have the biggest book. That's not what we were after. We wanted the most diverse book. Cool. So our books are very similar. We cover everything from old rock and roll, blues, jazz, classical, musicals, Disney, children's songs, R&B, rock, heavy rock, alternative, country pop, dance, you name it. My book encompasses it all. Reggae, soca, hip-hop, R&B. It has it all. There's nothing. If you're a singer and you come to my show and cannot find something in my book you can't sing, you're not really a singer. That's honest. That's
sure.
That's as real as I could put it. On top of that, I'm big into sound. I'm very picky about my show. The sound has to be right. Music has to be right. You have to have something for everybody, and you've got to be entertaining. You've got to be entertaining, which is a big thing. I found a lot of the hosts didn't interact with their people at the bars and stuff, and it didn't make for a good show. So and I've been to a ton of the shows. There are a lot of good karaoke hosts out there now. But it's still, there's some of them are lacking, some of them good.
Sure.
You're gonna find it everywhere. I just wanted to make sure I was in the upper echelon.
Absolutely. So let me backtrack a little bit and ask you about one of your more memorable shows with a band.
One of my most memorable shows, there's a few.
Okay.
There is
we got
Bamboo.
time.
Bamboo, the original Bamboo.
Love that.
We performed there with, let's see, Snow. Who else was there? Well, it was Kid Rock, obviously, at Revival. It was performing with a lot of Toronto's top, again, R&B artists like Snow, Carlos Morgan, Julie Black, Liberty Silver.
Oh, yeah.
Performed on the same stage as them. We performed at the Montreal Reggae Festival in front of 100,000 people.
Wow.
We performed at
Tell me about it.
Sunfest.
So what was it like?
Amazing.
Backstage?
Amazing.
What?
Amazing. Backstage, you get to meet.
After party?
Oh, after.
You got to go, man. You tell me. We want to know.
Montreal was incredible. The energy is just unreal. The people, 100,000 people to get up on stage in front of 100,000 people and do your thing. It's mind blowing. You tell most people and they're like, yeah, okay, you've never done that, but I've got the videotapes and the newspapers and everything to prove it. The artists you meet,
Which band was that?
That was with Legion, the reggae band.
Legion.
Yeah.
And what was the occasion? Montreal?
The Montreal Reggae Festival.
Reggae Fest.
Yeah. They have one in Toronto and one in Montreal. We used to do both. We've done we've opened anybody that you have ever heard of in reggae that is current now or was current in the last 10 years. We have opened for anybody at all, even the obscure names like Buju Banton, Shabba Ranks, Wayne Wonder, Barris Hammond. We've opened for all of them. Another big one was playing at Chicago, the Wild Hair. That place is incredible. It's most diverse set of people you'll ever meet in your life, all getting together, and that's what I base my karaoke shows on, because it's a whole different group of people. Like, you had your Rastas, you had the guys you consider your heavy metal rockers, you had your b-boys, everybody in one place just jamming to a vibe. It was incredible, great energy.
That's brilliant. So Chicago's on par with Chicago. With Montreal as one of the best shows.
Yeah. Yeah,
awesome.
We've also done Sunfest. Sunfest in Jamaica was probably the biggest.
Oh, you're kidding me! Wow.
We were nominated for a Juno. There's been a lot of big events. A lot of big ones.
So you were at the Juno Awards?
Yep.
With your band?
Yep.
Brilliant. Tell me about Sunfest. What was that like?
Incredible. I'll tell
Details.
you one story. I'll tell you a little joke. He'll kill me if he ever hears this, but one of the guys in the band.
Nobody will ever hear. There's only 50 people will watch.
Perfect. One of the guys in the band, my good friend Peter Catchy, guitar player, we were at Sunfest and we were backstage, and we just finished the set, and we were standing there just being in awe of everything and everyone around us. And this sultry-looking, good-looking woman comes walking up, and we're all like, we recognized who she was. Peter didn't, so we're all like, wow. We're like, Pete, do you know who that is? He's like, who? That woman coming this way. She was walking right towards us. So Mike the drummer goes, that's Sade. Pete goes,
oh, wow.
That's not Sade. I know Sade if I see her. She walks up with her accent and says, hello, I'm Sade. And he was just dumbfounded. He was just dumbfounded. Wow. We were laughing our heads off, but it was a great experience. She was good about it too. She was a champ about it. She just laughed it off.
Wow. Been around, man.
Yep. Been around, done some things. I still love to watch music. Even when I'm not doing karaoke, I love to get out and watch the rock bands here at McGrady's every Friday. There's a lot of talent in this area. A lot of talent. A lot of good bands come through here.
Sam's a great guy. Books great bands.
Yep. And it's good what you're doing too, putting the stuff out there.
Oh, thanks, man. You've got some people talking about you. I mean, I know Carrie told me, you got to check out Ron for karaoke. I didn't know you were in a band together.
Yeah.
Right. He's one of the best guitarists I know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep. Ever since high school, you could tell he was destined for greatness. He was phenomenal in high school. He's only gotten better over the years.
Well, I follow those guys pretty closely. But I don't really follow karaoke that closely. And if there's other guys, like you said, what was the name of the other your other buddy that does karaoke downtown?
Rick Marcoux.
So, and
There's
we
a
don't
lot of
expect
good.
that karaoke people are actually musicians in disguise behind a computer. It seems to get a kind of a the back seat to the people that are on the stage. The people that are
in a sense, because
multi-instrument bands.
Yeah, that's the way it's kind of always been. It's a lot different now. Back then, way back before, karaoke was more of a musicians would scorn it. They wouldn't think of doing it. But being from a musical background, being from a musician's background, I never looked at it that way, because, like I said, I would use it as vocal practice.
Yeah.
And now, these days, my shows progress to the point where I don't just have your typical people that want to come out and get drunk coming up to sing. I've got talented people. I get musicians coming through. I get vocalists coming through. I get bands coming through. I get independent artists coming through. Some of my shows attract some great talent.
Let's team up and offer them video services. We'll do them videos and put them on YouTube.
Sure.
Okay, we're going to talk business now, so I'm cutting. Have a nice day. Thanks for being on Musicians in Bars Getting Beer, Ron Dalson.
Thank you.
Multi-talented vocalist, band member, been on stage with incredible talent. Thanks for being on my show.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, sir.